right. Hey, everybody. So it's been a couple days since I've done a stream or done a show. So I thought it was time to wrap this up and talk about what's next. So I wanted to just kind of walk through what I've learned trying out James Clear's morning routine. Now, as I mentioned before, I kind of adapted his routine to fit my own needs. So let me first walk through what routine I tried and then what the good and what the bad of it was, and then maybe just ask for some input. So here was my routine that I've used for about the last week and a half, and it's been pretty great. So number one, prep the day before. This cannot be more important. Taking the time to physically write out what my day will be the next day, writing out what the tasks or what the meetings are, so I know I'm prepared for them, and then writing out the key tasks that I'm going to do for the next day is so important and has helped me be so productive. I was doing a little bit of that before, but this really reinforced that habit, and it is now a keystone habit that I will do forever and ever. It is amazing. If you don't do anything else or learn anything else from this series of videos, learn that. Always prepare the day before. Number two, up at 6 a.m. I'll talk more about that later. Number three, drink water. Drinking water helps to rehydrate the body after sleep because you wake up with that dry mouth, and that's a sign that your body is dehydrated. And so drinking water after sleep is so important. Number four, write 3 things I'm thankful for. Number 5, 2 minutes of meditation. Number 6, read 10 pages of a book. This has helped me plow through a book that I've been meaning to read forever and have not had the time to do. This has really helped me do that. Number 7, read articles. I love to read articles. In fact, I have a newsletter that goes out every Friday that has links to interesting articles that I've found during that week for all of you that don't have time to read interesting articles. I summarize them for you and I give you links to them. So check that out at adamjwalker.com and sign up for my newsletter. I'd love for you to become a subscriber. Number 8, walk the dog. I mentioned this on a previous video. We have a big dog. He's got a lot of energy. He needs to get that energy out. And frankly, I need to get outside and clear my head because I work from home. And so I need to leave the house. So walking the dog is a really good opportunity to do that. So walk the dog. Let's see. Next is workout. Working out is just so important. And I'm trying to make health a priority in my life. And so I'm trying to work out every single day. That's been going great. Number 10, create something. So whether I'm doing a live stream or I'm writing a blog post or I'm making notes for a blog post or I'm thinking through what I want to talk about for my Friday newsletter or whatever else, but create something. Use that time in the morning, that creative time to create something. And last, no email until noon. This one's a big deal, and I've been doing it. It's been great. As a matter of fact, today I actually had a lunch meeting, and so I didn't check email before my lunch meeting, and I went to my lunch meeting, and I got back at 2 o'clock, and I checked my email, and guess what? The world didn't end, and it was totally okay, and nobody cared at all. And it's so freeing to just say, you know what? I'm not going to check my email until noon. And then I'm going to check it again at the end of the day. And that's it. I'm not going to be beholden to my emails. That's so great. So the good from this thing, I mentioned this earlier, prepping the day before. Prep the day before, always prep the day before. It's the most important thing any of us can do to make sure we have the right priorities for the next day and we're doing the right things. Next, I love writing 3 things that I'm grateful for. I mentioned this in a different video, but writing 3 things I'm grateful for is kind of fantastic because it forces me to dig deeper into thinking through what I'm grateful for. So I'm not just grateful for the cup of coffee in my hand because that's the easy answer, but I'm grateful for that cup of coffee and for the birds singing outside and for the sun shining through the window. It just gives me more opportunity to reflect on what matters and what I'm thankful for in my life. 2 minutes of meditation. I really like doing 2 minutes of meditation. It's been very encouraging and I've really enjoyed that process. So I would strongly encourage you to consider it. 2 minutes of meditation doesn't take hardly any time, but it's enough time to reset your mind and check your attitudes and check your mental state and know that you're moving forward in strength and with clarity. So it's so important. Reading in the morning and setting aside time for reading and even setting aside time for what I'll be reading has been so impactful. It's helped me to get through a sales book that I've been meaning to read forever and have not. And that book has been really fantastic. It's helped me to get through lots of articles that are important for my newsletter and just for my overall general professional and personal development. It's been just unbelievable. Taking the time to read in the mornings is just so critical. And no email till noon. I mentioned this earlier. I'll mention it again. Do yourself a favor. Don't check your email before noon unless you just have fires. And if you think you have fires, honestly, scan your email box, look for what fires may be, deal with those, and then leave all the rest of it until later because it can wait. Email seems urgent and it's almost never really urgent. And so just do yourself a favor and don't check it until noon. The bad, what did not work for me in this plan? Number one, I was trying to get up at 6 a.m. I failed miserably. I failed laughably at this. I don't think I accomplished that even one time in the week and a half that I've been doing this routine, not even once, which is kind of pathetic. So I'm still working on that. I'm a work in progress. It's always been a struggle for me. So I'll just keep working on getting up when I can appropriately get up. And the other thing that's been a struggle is just creating. I need to spend the time creating things, doing more writing in the mornings before I hit that noon threshold. And that's been tough to get to sometimes as I've gotten kind of bogged down in other things. And so I do need to make sure that I'm taking the time to really create and do those things that are going to add the most value to the work that I'm doing. So as I wrap up here, what I want to ask you now is, what should I do next? Should I test something else next? Should I do something else next? I've been thinking a lot about living simply and kind of minimalism. And I've written a bit about that and I've been interested in that for a long time. I've been thinking about maybe I could do a challenge 30 days with 130 items or something like that. I don't know. I would love to know if you have any ideas for me on how I can live more simply and do things more simply. I'm just trying to continually simplify my life while also improving the quality of all of the things around me, both in my work and my personal life. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate you taking the time to be here with me on this journey. I would love to stay connected. So you can check me out on my website at adamjwalker.com. You can also find me on my business websites at edgewise.media or togetherletters.com. But I'd love to stay connected and please comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for joining.